Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Life in Pictures. It's a podcast where we talk about movies.
It is legally 2025 now.
Happy New Year to all of our loyal and faithful listeners, all 5 of you.
And
How's it going?
I say legally because that's from foreshadowing about some of the movies we're talking about today.
Yes. So I have been on, other than Wicked, which I have seen 4 times in the movie theater, I have been really into thrillers. That's what I've been reading. That's what I've been wanting to consume. So we have compiled just some of the movies that we have seen recently, and we're going to talk about them today with you. So you're going to notice a theme. The first movie we're going to talk about is the most recent of the films, and then we're actually going to go all the way back to 1995. So we're going to take you like on a walk through time. The first movie we're going to talk about is the movie Juror number 2. It was released at a film festival in October of 2024 and then briefly in theaters. In December, it came to HBO Max. It had a budget of $35 million and the box office was only $21 million. So considering that this was kind of a high profile movie, it was
kind of a low budget,
low budget, but
I mean,
also
comparative to like most movies nowadays, $35 million isn't that much money.
It didn't really even recoup that though. That's the thing that I'm kind of like, that's strange. I wonder if maybe they hadn't decided, maybe that's why they decided to move it to streaming so that more audiences would see it. It's actually directed by Clint Eastwood. Who is, gosh, he's got to be like 90 something, 93, something like that. He's
Everybody will say Clint Eastwood is the biggest yellow belly there ever was.
Written by Jonathan Abrams, starring Nicholas Hoult, Zoe Deutsch, Toni Collette, and Kiefer Sutherland. So a pretty big name cast. And it does seem like it's a Warner Brothers picture. So, it's not like a straight to video type of movie.
Warner Brothers killed the Batgirl movie. They filmed the whole thing and they got it ready to go and they just said no. Michael Keaton was in it and everything.
I guess we have feelings about Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I want to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. That Flash movie was like, the only good part of it was him.
What is this Batgirl movie? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, they filmed this whole movie of Batgirl and Michael Keaton was in it as Batman and they had it all ready to go. It's all like done and they just said, nah, we're not doing that. And just like canceled it.
Who was Batgirl?
I think it's what's her name? Lenny Kravitz's daughter, right? Is she Batgirl?
Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah, she was something in Batman.
Didn't she play Catwoman?
Maybe she was Catwoman. I don't know. But anyway, though, they made this whole movie and then they just shelved it. It's kind of messed up.
That's terrible news. I'm so sorry. So this movie, Juror number 2, can currently be streamed on HBO Max. I don't think it can be rented on other platforms currently because I think they probably have some kind of deal with HBO. Basically, the synopsis of this movie is there's this juror for a high-profile murder trial, and he finds himself struggling with this moral dilemma that could influence the verdict and potentially convict or free this accused killer.
Now, before we go any further, we just want to let you know, spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alert!
There are going to be spoilers in this episode, as there are in all of our episodes, because we've already seen these movies, and we're going to talk about them with you as if you've seen them too. So if you don't want to know what happens before you listen to this, go watch the movie and then come back. If you have seen it already, go ahead and keep listening because you already know. Or if you haven't seen it and you don't care about hearing what happens before you see the movie, keep listening. But just so you know, we're going to spoil everything.
That's what we do. We spoil things around here. So basically what happens is this man gets picked to be a juror on this trial where they're saying that this man murdered his girlfriend. They had gotten in a fight at a pretty public fight at a bar, and they had been known to do that. And they said that, he beat her and then threw her over a mountainside or whatever, and she died. So he's on trial for her murder. So we meet the jurors. Juror number 2 is this like quiet guy whose wife is pregnant. And it's real. Toni Collette is the prosecutor here, and she's really trying to get a conviction because she is running for district attorney or something like that. So as we start to hear this story unfold, this juror number 2, he starts to have these flashbacks to that night where he himself is at that bar. And he starts to remember, bits and pieces. He's a recovering alcoholic. He didn't have anything to drink, but he was very upset because he and his wife had lost a baby, and that was supposed to be the baby's due date. And it was raining really hard. And when the girl left her boyfriend, who she had that fight with, she was walking down the street, and the man's driving home, and you hear a crash into the car. He assumed he didn't see anything. He assumed it was a deer and moved on. But you can see kind of the wheels are turning as he's sitting in this jury box, and he's realizing, oh shit, I think I killed her. And he's having this moral dilemma because he doesn't want to convict this guy when he thinks that it may have been him. So they go through the whole trial, and he eventually decides that he's going to side with all of the other jurors and convict this guy because he's just not really a nice guy anyway. And then he kind of goes on about his life, and he's constantly worried that, they're going to figure him out. Here's my thing. I think I liked it. I think that it would have been a better twist if the boyfriend, if they resolved that the boyfriend actually did it. And like he actually did hit a deer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that would have just been a better twist to it. It was a little bit like predictable because from like...
They kind of gave the point of the movie away too early.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. So it was good. I wouldn't say it was the best movie I've ever seen. I wouldn't say that it was just predictable. And I just would have liked there to have been some kind of twist.
Yeah.
Where like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those types of movies, and I feel like the next movie we're going to talk about had a lot of those twists where you were like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I didn't see that coming. You kind of knew the path it was going to go, and then it went in a different path.
Yeah.
And I think those just make more interesting movies. Like this one, you kind of knew like right away, like once he started to have those memories. And I don't know, maybe the purpose of this movie was more like his moral dilemma and whatever. I just think it would have been a better twist, in my opinion, if it turned out like, hey, you actually did hit the deer. That guy actually was a piece of shit. So you did the right thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was just kind of my take on that movie. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of the same. I mean, feels pretty good. I've seen better movies. I've seen worse movies.
Yeah.
I
don't think that I would have been happy if I'd paid to see it in a theater. It just was a little disappointing.
Yeah, I don't think I would have went to see it in a theater either.
Yeah, so that was the first movie we watched. The newest movie. You want to talk about the next one?
Yes, the next movie is from 22 years ago now. And this movie came out in 2003. The name of this movie is Runaway, Juror, and it is based on the novel by John Grisham. and he wrote that book in 1996. If you're not familiar with John Grisham, in the 90s, John Grisham was cranking out these law novels like crazy. He was like the king of the law story.
And honestly, movies too.
Yeah, and they were good stuff too. The Client, The Firm, this Runaway Jury, The Pelican Brief. I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm forgetting. But
this is one I'd never really heard of. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention at the time. But it has an amazing cast.
Yeah, and I remember in the 90s, my dad really liked John Grisham a lot. He was always reading those books. And so I wanted to see the movies because he would tell me about some of these books, like The Client. And he would summarize it. I'm like, that sounds like a cool thing. Maybe they'll make a movie. And they did. And I watched the movie and it was good. So this one's kind of the same type deal where, he writes these really good legal dramas. Because I'm pretty sure John Grisham used to be an attorney. So the stories themselves are fiction, but I mean, obviously he has some experience in that area that aids him in his writing, I would think. And this one wasn't an exception. It's got a good cast. John Cusack, Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, Rachel Weisz, Jeremy Piven. I would just like to say it was kind of nice to see Gene Hackman again, even though it's not really again because this is an old movie. But I mean, yeah, he's retired. You don't really see him no more because he's old now. But he don't act anymore, I don't think. But it was kind of cool. I hadn't really watched a movie with him in it in a while, so that was cool.
Yeah, it was a really great cast.
I honestly haven't seen John Cusack in a lot, or Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just like, I'm done, or what the deal is. But I guess, everybody kind of maybe hits that point where you don't see him as much. But
I feel like early 2000s John Cusack was everywhere.
Yeah, you don't really see him. I don't know what the last thing I saw him in was. Oh, I know what it was. It was that Utopia show on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, that show.
That was like good.
Oh, that show
4 or 5 years ago now.
Okay, that show was some creepy. Did we watch it during COVID or did we watch it just before?
I don't know, but it was definitely around that time.
Oh my gosh. It was like some foreshadowing. It was like this virus that got released, and it was
it's a good show if you haven't seen it.
Fertilizing children so that they would, not be able to produce in the future.
Utopia on Amazon Prime.
It was creepy.
Rainn Wilson is in it.
Yeah.
That's the reason I think we originally wanted to watch it, but
and then it never got another season.
Yeah, it's weird because it was a good show.
Disappeared.
And it seemed like they definitely had more of a story to tell, and I don't know. I guess that happens sometimes, but
maybe it was just a little too close to reality at the time.
Yeah, I don't know if like the ratings weren't there or what the reasoning behind not getting another season was, but
so Runaway Jury is currently streaming on Paramount Plus, which we are subscribers to. But you can probably also rent it on some of the different platforms. The budget for the movie was $60 million and it took in about 80. So a really solid box office scoring. Like I said, I don't remember this movie from that time period, but like this is definitely a movie I would have wanted to see with the cast and just the synopsis of it. So basically there is this this young finance guy with a family gets shot in a workplace shooting in New Orleans, and the wife decides that she is going to sue the gun manufacturer. And so Dustin Hoffman is her attorney, and he's kind of pitted against the big attorneys of the gun manufacturer. And one of the things that they have is this jury consultant that's played by Gene Hackman, and basically
the evil genius Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor himself.
So basically they're any means necessary to buy the jury. They will do bad things to their family members, whatever they can do to sway the jury in their direction. So in comes John Cusack, and he gets himself on this jury. He does a really good job of playing it up like he doesn't want to be on the jury, but then he inserts himself and really is trying to sway the jury. And his girlfriend, played by Rachel Weisz, she's kind of like this interceptor who is trying to start a bidding war between the plaintiff and the defendant. And whoever pays her the most amount of money, she'll ensure that the jury votes in that way. And so hijinks ensue, and they're trying to sway the jury. I really liked the twist in this one because you really thought that for a good portion of the movie that she just really only cared about money, and she was really trying to whoever was going to get the most money is how she was going to sway the jury. But it turns out that her sister had been killed in a school shooting, and she kind of had been working her whole life to bring down these gun manufacturers. So she got the money from, Gene Hackman to sway the jury in that way, but she ended up swaying the jury the other way. And he was none too pleased. So I liked the twist in that movie. I liked that there was it wasn't so predictable and straightforward, and there was a reason to keep watching.
Yeah, there were a lot of twists and turns, and it did hold your attention for sure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything specific to say about this that where it really I had any one favorite scene or anything like that. Just
it's definitely worth a watch if you've never seen it, or even if it's been a while since you've seen it. I feel like the nice thing about John Grisham books and movies is that you can watch them again and not be bored.
I think, yeah, and the book, you should read the books too. I remember a few years ago I decided to read The Client for the first time because I had seen the movie and I always thought the movie was good, and I'd never read any of his books. And then after I read the book, I wanted to watch the movie again. And, it had been, I don't know, probably a decade or more since I'd seen the movie, but it still held up. And I think a lot of those movies of his books are the same kind of thing, like this one.
So I feel like I remember reading The Client when I was in 4th grade. Why would my parents let me read that book?
They probably don't know what it was. Yeah, whatever. It's a book. Yeah, go over there.
It's a book. How bad could it be? Now, we'd be lucky if we can get our kids to pick up a book.
Yeah.
Which is so strange to me. I loved reading so much. And I would beg my parents to take me to places like Walden Books or Borders just so I could get a $4 book.
I used to love to go to the bookstores, but even better than the bookstores is the library because they have the same stuff, but it's free.
Yeah, that's true.
And you go to the bookstores, you buy all these books, but you probably aren't going to read them more than once. You read the book one time, you take it back to the library, and then get another one. It's great. I guess technically it's you pay for it with your taxes, but that's still probably a lot cheaper than.
It's just
if you were
such
to
a
buy all
different
those books.
Time now, because I feel like I was constantly reading, and I might have been reading 3 or 4 different books at a time.
Yeah.
No, I can't get my kids to read their homework.
The first book that I ever read that was based on a movie was Jurassic Park, and that was 1993. So I would have been 9, I guess. I think I was in the 3rd grade, and I was reading this book, and it's an adult level book, and it was weird because it was I could read the words, but I didn't really understand all of them, and so I went back and read it when I was an adult. It made a lot more sense. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point, but since we were talking about reading books,
I remember The Client being like I was like kind of scared when I was reading it. So both of those movies have to do with juries. That's kind of how, they're related. They're kind of crime movies. And then the third movie we just watched today, actually, it's the movie Copycat. And Copycat was released in 1995. It is available to stream on Amazon, or it's rentable on Google or YouTube. One thing that I wanted to point out as I was looking up some of the details of these movies, all three of these movies were released in October of their respective year. Now, I don't know if that's because like they want to have like thrillers come out around Halloween, or if they just think like moving into like the Thanksgiving Christmas season, this type of movie does better. I'm just curious as to why like three movies that came out in very different years and kind of are different movies.
Spooky season.
All came out in October. I digress. So the budget of Copycat was $27 million and the box office was $79 million. So
and you got to think too, this was in 1995 dollars. So
like,
I mean, it sounds low for today's standards, but
that's huge.
Back
and
then,
it's a huge gain over what they spent on it.
Yeah.
The movie stars Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, Dermot Mulroney, my favorite, and
Kermit McDougal is his real name.
Harry Connick Jr. Harry Connick Jr. Man, they really made him look like really icky.
He was creepy. I didn't even realize that was him until you just said that. But
yeah. So the synopsis of this movie is that Dr. Helen Hudson is this renowned psychologist, and a psychopath serial killer comes after her, and then she becomes an agoraphobic where she cannot leave her house. And then this new string of murders starts to happen, but, crazy Harry Connick Jr. is still behind bars, and she's, Dr. Hudson is trying to kind of help the police figure out who this is, while also not leaving her house, but she's kind of entangled in it as well. And, so this new serial killer is kind of modeling after some of the big name serial killers of the past, and they're trying to get ahead of him to stop him from killing his next victim. And so it's just kind of like one of those psychological thriller movies. It was really good. I really liked it.
I think one of the cops in this movie was in The Client.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't you know that? I don't know what his name is, but he was the guy that didn't like Kermit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think he was in The Client, wasn't he?
Possibly,
He looks like it, like one of the guys from that movie to me.
Kermit. Stop calling him Kermit. His name is Dermot.
His name is Kermit McDougal.
It is not.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
He was really young there.
Yeah.
That must have been like, the first movie I ever saw him in was My Best Friend's Wedding. So to me, he will always be Michael from My Best Friend's Wedding. But
also, again with the spoilers, but there's a scene in this movie where Kermit dies, and this guy takes him hostage in the police station. Everybody's like, "Oh, okay, everybody calm down, blah, blah, blah. Let's get this guy to put his gun down." And he's backing away with Kermit, and then Kermit's partner comes and then shoots the gunman in the arm, so he falls down. And then instead of immediately swarming the guy and disarming him like anyone would with a brain, that was like, "Oh, it's a good job that he's not trying to kill me anymore." And of course, as soon as they're doing that, the guy gets up and shoots Kermit and he dies. I'm like, how in a room full of trained cops did nobody immediately disarm that guy when he fell down? I don't even feel bad for you. That's what you get. Your training sucked, and that's why you died.
Okay. I did also so he's taken kind of like hostage by this man who's been detained, and I think that it was basically this man that was just scared because he only spoke Chinese, and the Chinese interpreter didn't know how to say "put the gun down."
Yeah, I'm gonna get angry about something in a movie that happened 30 years ago because this is not cool.
Anyway, if you are the interpreter in a law setting, maybe you should know how to say put that down. I don't know, just a thought.
That would make sense to me. How do you not immediately disarm the guy when he's on the ground? What?
Anyway,
how was that not the first thing that they did?
Because he was his character was very sweet. Like he stayed with Dr. Hudson in her home, like trying to like help her with her like IT issues and
also her assistant, I don't know what his actual name is, but he played the male librarian in Ghostbusters, and Sigourney Weaver was also in Ghostbusters with him. So
yeah, so maybe they were like friends.
Yeah, I mean, they probably knew each other from that.
Yeah.
That was only 11 years prior to this movie, so I guess that's kind of a long time, but anyway.
I think at that time, Sigourney Weaver was really famous. I think this movie is great. It's still, there are a few things that are dated in it, but it held up as a psychological thriller, I think, even now. I liked it. So that's kind of what we've been watching, are these crime thrillers lately.
I like Sigourney Weaver in the Aliens franchise.
Yes, Travis does like those movies. I don't like them, so I don't watch them.
You've never seen them. So
I don't need to see them.
How do you even know you wouldn't?
I don't like movies like that.
They're great movies.
No, thank you. Thank you, no thank you.
They're mostly great movies, mostly.
Also, if you didn't know, I know this episode is not about Wicked. I don't work for Wicked. Hashtag hire me. But Wicked is available on streaming services currently. You can purchase it.
It's not available on streaming services. You have to buy it.
Or you can rent it.
But you can't stream it on like Netflix or something.
No, but you can get it on Amazon, Fandango, any of those places. And supposedly, now my husband won't buy me the digital copy because he said...
You're getting the digital copy. Listen to this, guys. You can either pay $30 for just the digital copy, or you could pay $30 for the 4K Blu-ray that also comes with the digital copy. Why would you pay for just the digital copy when you can pay the same price and also get it on a disc?
I want it now.
That's dumb.
Anyway,
and also when you have the disc, they can't just wake up one day and say, "Never mind, it's not your movie anymore."
So he doesn't want me to have it because he doesn't love me.
No, you're getting something better than if you had this right now.
So anyway,
you're welcome.
There's like all of these deleted scenes and
don't get rid of physical media
that I have yet to see because he's making me wait for the physical copy.
It's gonna be better.
So maybe you all could tell me what I'm missing out on. Hit us up. Life in Pictures Podcast. Life in Pics Pod. I don't know what we are on the socials, but you can find us.
Life in Pictures Podcast on Facebook, at Life in Pics Pod, everywhere else. And everywhere else is basically Instagram.
Also, if you really want to do us a solid, you can go on your favorite streaming platform and you can like and review and get us out to 5 more people that would love to hear what we have to say about movies that we watch sometimes.
Yes. No matter how many people are listening, we still are glad that you're here, and we're thankful that you would like to spend this time with us. So if you like what you're hearing, tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell people you know. Leave a review. Hopefully it's a good one, but... tell the truth. Leave whatever you think we deserve, I guess.
We're awesome. We're awesome. It's great. Anyway, we thank you for listening today. Happy 2025. We hope that this year is filled with new and exciting movies that we can talk a lot about. And Wicked for Good, November 21st.
Coming out soon.
Yes. So
later this year.
Get ready. Get ready.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Anything else to talk about tonight?
That's all for now, folks.
Okay. Well, we hope you have enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. Bye.